Hello, welcome back. Today I'm putting the cylinder head together for this Z6 that we're building, and probably going to throw the rest of the motor together, timing belt, head gasket, head studs, all that kind of stuff. So we're starting off with kind of a bare cylinder head. I actually took it to the car wash this morning and got it all cleaned up as good as I could. This is just like corroded aluminum really now, but anyways, we are running Brian Crower valve springs and retainers on this deal. The Brian Crower stuff is pretty decent for the money, and this is just a higher spring pressure spring. So this has it's a stiffer spring, and then it also comes with titanium retainers. They're all like individually packaged, which is pretty nice. Brian Crower has some nice stuff, but yeah, so titanium retainers. And yeah, so we're going to put that together. I did take apart the head last night off camera, and I took the valves out of the head and whatnot, and these things were super crusty. It's like this head was sitting in the rain or something, and they were kind of rusty and whatnot, so I cleaned them up, and they look pretty good now. So yeah, we're going to throw them back into the head. I checked them to see if they were bent. None of them were bent. I just kind of put them on a straight edge in a line and then looked down the valves to see if they are bent. But yeah, they all look good, and I got 15 of the valve springs and retainers in, and I'm going to put the 16th one in and demonstrate how to do it. So the valve just comes through here. Like I said, this stuff's pretty repetitive. I've been doing it a lot lately, but there goes the valve, and then spring, retainer, and the keepers. Now, the difference with a single cam head is you can't use like the tool that I had for my B series. You got to use like a C-clamp or something like this guy to get in there and tighten everything down and get the keepers to seat. So yeah, I'm just going to demonstrate doing one of these quick. It's actually easiest that I found out to do this, to actually take two little keepers and put them into the retainers, or put them into the retainer before you put everything in. So take the retainer here and put the keepers inside of the retainer, just like so. So the keepers are inside of the retainer like this. That way it's a little bit easier to put them in. So now I'm just going to put the valve spring and retainer and keepers all above the valve. And now just going to use the C-clamp here, get down under the valve, and then tighten down on the clamp and keep my finger over the keepers and just kind of push them in, just like so. It's pretty simple, especially with a C-clamp on a single cam. They're not too hard. But I always keep my finger on the keeper because otherwise they like to pop out. Just kind of keeping pressure on them down until they click into the valve, and then release it, and we are all set. You stupid fuck.
What did you do?
That's never coming off. This is fun. And the camera.
Do all that you can. Keep me in daydream.
What's going on, guys? So I'm actually on my way to my buddy's, and he actually hooked me up with a D16 Z6 camshaft and cam gear, because I don't know if you've seen in the last clip and why I didn't have a video yesterday, but I actually broke the bolt off when I tightened the cam gear onto the camshaft. I was going to put the cam inside the head and then show you more stuff with the cylinder head, but I actually ended up breaking the bolt off inside the cam with my frickin' impact, and that's my own stupid fault. So I proceeded to try to remove the bolt from the camshaft with the welder, as you've seen, and well, it turns out that the cam is weldable, and I ended up welding the bolt to the cam on accident. I tried welding a nut onto the end of it, but the bolt was actually broke off pretty far inside the camshaft, and I was attempting to remove the stuck bolt, but yeah, it didn't work. So yeah, anyways, I got pissed off and I was like, whatever, I'll just weld the cam gear right to the fucking cam. So I tried doing that, and then it turns out I forgot to put the cam seal on before I welded the cam to the cam gear. Obviously I wasn't gonna run it. I thought about it after about 2 seconds of messing around, and I'm like, I wouldn't run this anyways. It's better just to have the frickin' bolt in there. So whatever. I'm going to get a different cam right now, and we can proceed to put this Z6 back together. Shouldn't be much longer now, but figured I'd give this EG one last quick test drive before I pull the motor out of it. See if this thing's got any beans left in it, you know what I mean? Let her fucking eat. Let her bark! This thing chooches so bad. It burns so much freaking oil. But yeah, I don't think you can really kill a D15b, guys. I mean, at least in stock form, they're pretty much impossible to kill. The only way that I've successfully killed a D15b was I put... Oh my god, I can't even breathe in here. It's so smoky. Shit stink! Damn! But anyways, the only successful way I've actually killed one of these D15Bs is I put valve lapping compound in the oil, and I literally stood the thing on the rev limiter for like 12 minutes straight, and it didn't even blow up. The alternator went out. So yeah, I don't think you can really kill one, but whatever. Try it again. All day, baby, all day. All day. Hang on. I'm still on it. Hang on. Still on the rev limiter. Nothing. Whatever. Mint. All right, guys, so I am back home now. And we about to work on this EG. I pulled this freaking nasty oil burning B7 out of here. Get this freaking junk out. And put this beauty in. This is the Z6 that I put together in the last video. I got the bottom end all done and the head. I didn't really go over a lot of the stuff in the cylinder head. It's pretty simple. You just pretty much have the bare head. Once this, you take off these bolts here, the 12s, which take the VTEC rail off, and then the rocker assembly will come right out. And then, you know, I replaced the valves, springs, and retainers. Checked over everything, checked the flatness on the head. I usually just use like a machinist straight edge. Yeah, I got the single cam buttoned up. Timing is all done. One thing with single cams that's kind of tricky, guys, is lining everything up without the cover here, without the back cover on the head. I actually didn't get a cover with this motor, so I kind of just lined it up with the surface of the cylinder head. There's 2 dashes on each side of the cam here, and then there's an arrow that faces up. It's backwards right now, but it is in time, I promise. But yeah, that's pretty much what you got to do. But I recommend having a cover. I've done these enough where I know where they got to be, but if you don't have a back cover here to line the marks up with, just make sure that you line these 2 dashes on the sides up with level with the head, and with the up facing up, and then line your single dash on the crank pulley to this little guy on the timing cover here, and then there's also a mark on the oil pump if you don't have this cover. Also, I usually only run the bottom covers. It's easier to, you know, do maintenance and stuff like that, especially on a motor that's going to get pushed hard and, you know, is going to race a lot and stuff like that. You got to kind of expect basic maintenance stuff to come up. So, I mean, for example, I only put 2 bolts in the timing cover just because, I mean, if you got to take this stuff apart at the racetrack and you're fixing it, it's a lot easier to do it when, you know, you don't have, like, all the completely necessary shit. It's kind of ghetto, but honestly, this is how I do stuff, and it works really well for me. And I'm the guy that like breaks shit at the track, and I fix it, and I go race again. You know what I mean? I don't like load it up and come home. So I'm not that type of guy. But anyways, I'm gonna get working on the car here to get to pull this freaking turd out of here. I got a lot of the stuff out already. I got the radiator out. I got the exhaust manifold pulled back a little. And I got the wiring harness disconnected from the fuse box and the firewall plugs here. I got the fuel line unhooked. I mean, this is all basic Honda stuff. This is real easy. I think I've went over a lot of it. If you guys have questions on any of this stuff on pulling a motor in a Honda, be sure to check out my earlier videos. And if you still have questions, feel free to ask or email me, huntertuned@gmail.com. Yeah, I've had like zero freaking motivation yesterday and today. I mean, I can come up with 100,000 excuses in the book and be like, oh, it's only 10 degrees out today, I don't want to wrench, or it's raining out, I don't want to wrench, or I'm tired, I don't want to wrench, or whatever. You know what I mean? Or you could get your head in the game and you could just come out here, start wrenching, and when you're about 5 minutes into wrenching, you'll be like, oh, this really isn't so freaking bad. So my advice to you guys is just get out there and do it. You know, like I said, you can come up with all the excuses in the book, or you could just get out there and do it and get it over with. And I really don't mean to have a bunch of negativity on the channel or anything like that. So I apologize. Like I said, I've been going through a lot in life lately with, you know, dealing with all my anxieties and fucking debt and a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I have so much on my plate, guys, it's not even funny. But, you know, I'm just out here trying to be positive, and that's how you got to be with life every freaking day. You got to just point the bad things with a middle finger in the air, and you know, just keep on grinding. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep on grinding, and I'm gonna pull this motor right out. All right, guys. So we got the motor out, or I should say, I got the motor out. I know I piss people off saying we. It's just a habit, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, got this old thing out of here. I actually pulled the linkage with the motor and trans because the bitch pin was actually being, you know, living up to its name. So I'm probably going to try to remove that while it's out here, so it's a little bit easier to do. Also, we're going to be using this transmission onto this engine, so I'm going to have to take this trans off and probably the flywheel, because I'm going to use the flywheel with the new clutch on this setup. And then, yeah, I don't know. But there she is. Our pride and joy. Anybody want a D15b7? Come get it. Alright guys, a little update of what's going on. Like I said, I got the motor out and everything. I'm actually installing the mounts, or I installed the rear mount. These are just like eBay billet aluminum rear mount. And I got the two front ones as well, but those ones aren't going to go on until we get the motor in the car, obviously. But I did get the D15 kind of stripped down. I took all the parts I needed off of it. Just, you know, some small stuff like I used the intake manifold because it's the exact same thing as the Z6. At least it's virtually the same exact thing. So I got that all bolted on with the injectors and everything like that. And yeah, I got this thing cleaned up pretty good. I got my valve cover over at T-Bags Customs. He's actually painting a valve cover for me, or he's just doing it because he likes doing that kind of stuff. This is actually one of the ones he just did for his car. It's like green and splatter. Looks pretty good. But anyways, I got Michael coming over. He's going to help me get this motor back in. And I'm going to swap the trans off of the D15 onto here. This trans was actually really buttery smooth, so really no need to upgrade it. This is just like one of the long geared transmissions, which is kind of lame. But whatever, it'll work just fine. And yeah, got my bitch pin out of the shift linkage. It was easier once it was out of the car because, like I said, the back side of it had like a punch busted off inside of there. So yeah. But anyways, I got a freaking mess going on. But hopefully we'll get this motor installed and get it into the car and whatnot. And then I'm going to upload a video and play some PUBG. Anyways, this trans, I'm going to go to the car wash and clean it up so it's not all full of oil and grime and junk. And then I got to swap the flywheel over, and then I got a clutch for it too. I got a stage 5 clutch. And yeah, a bunch of other stuff. Sorry I'm not really doing a whole lot of updates on it. I'm not really like, you know, doing every little thing on camera. But I am filming bits and pieces and kind of keeping you guys updated on what's going on. which I hope you guys enjoy. If you guys want more in-depth stuff, I feel like I've covered a lot of this stuff. So, but if you guys do have questions or recommendations, please let me know. Alright guys, we are ready to put the motor in now. I just got to bolt the trans on, and got the clutch all bolted on already. This is XTD Stage 5 sprung disc, so hopefully it holds the power. I had a XTD Stage 5 in my silver coupe that I built earlier on the channel, and it started slipping around like 350 wheel, maybe 400 wheel on gear transitions, but I mean, normally just flooring it was fine. So hopefully this one works. This is a little different design than the older XTDs. I'm actually talking with those guys too to see if they can maybe have a budget-friendly option clutch that I can offer, because I would love to see them actually come out with a good B-series clutch like this, because this clutch is $108. So I mean, realistically, if it holds 300 wheel, it's worth it, in my opinion. But anyways, so yeah, we're gonna chuck this trans on and fill this motor in. Alright, so we got the motor in the car, and Mr. Teabag Custom stopped over and dropped off the valve cover finally, because he stole it from me to do this. So yeah, he did like a little custom splatter paint on this valve cover. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. I got the turbo manifold kind of mocked up to see where everything's gonna sit. The turbo will be here tomorrow, so we'll do more stuff with the turbo and, you know, intercooler and all that kind of stuff tomorrow probably. Or I might just get the motor running first. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. But this manifold looks like it sits really high, and I'm really hoping the turbo will clear the hood. That's one issue that I'm thinking I might run into with this manifold. We didn't on Michael's car. He's got the same exact manifold, and it does not have any issues in an EK, but I don't know about an EG. So we will see. Tomorrow we get the turbo, so we'll know more. But we got the motor in the car at least, and everything is all good to go. So yeah, hopefully we'll get this thing fired up tomorrow. Also, that XTD Stage 5, I hooked up the slave cylinder here, and this pressure plate is extremely stiff compared to what they used to be. The Stage 5 XTD used to have like a really kind of spongy pressure plate, and I think that's why it you know, slipped on gear transitions and whatnot. But this one seems like it's nice and stiff, and you know, that's how we like it. But anyways, that's gonna be it for tonight, and we'll pick up probably tomorrow with another video, guys, and probably do some more with this car. So stay tuned, subscribe, and like this video if you enjoyed it, and we will see you tomorrow. See ya!
See ya!